As an actress, she will have received loads of first night cards. First night cards, when I was an actress, I did, and in fact, they're all in my mother's attic. Every first night card I ever, and they could be crude, they could be witty, they were so in your face, and they were not subtle. And we are talking about greetings cards, and what greetings cards have you kept? Maybe they're the ones from the birth of your child, from your wedding. Have you kept all your wedding cards, I wonder? We have in the studio Angus Gardner from Caroline Gardner. You might be familiar with their cards. They also do scented candles. They've sort of diversified, but they are better known really for their greetings cards. And also Sharon Little, who is from the Association of the Greeting Card Association. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
I'm so pleased you're there. I think it's really nice to know there is someone looking out. In fact, someone has just messaged you. This is from Alan, who says, "Jo, I'm loving the show. Can you please say hi to Sharon for us? We joined the Greeting Card Association last week. Sharon has been super helpful already. Looking forward to catching up with her at the next show." From Alan. Does Alan...
Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Alan.
This is from Robin in Battersea, who says, "Jo, I'm with you on this. Never, ever send an e-card. I can't stand them." And I agree with you, Jo. They are totally lazy. Let's go to Fran, who's on the line in West Hampstead. Can you stick the headphones on, please, everybody? Thank you. Hello, Fran.
Hi there.
Right, go on. Greetings cards.
I'd just like to say I've kept my son's first ever Mother's Day card. He's 31 now. He's in Australia, so it's 27 years ago.
And what does it say? And
it's just in scrawly handwriting, Mummy, Happy Mother's Day, and it's got those pop-up flowers.
Oh, yes.
That you don't get anymore, but I'm sure I can still smell the flowers,
And did so he didn't make it, he bought it. Can you have a look? Yeah. Can you have a look on the back and tell us who printed it?
It's Hallmark.
Hallmark.
Yeah.
Okay. So and you'll never have you kept any others, or is that the only card?
I've kept loads, but this is the one because he's away. He's so far away now that it's just special.
I'm going to ask my guest here. Pop-up cards. Fran said they're almost a thing of the past. Let me ask you first of all, Angus. Do you do a pop-up card?
We don't do pop-up cards as such, but we do three-dimensional cards. So die-cut cards we do.
Right, so the ones you can stand up.
Yeah, this thing, yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Stand up. Sharon, the pop-up card, I mean, is that an expensive design? Is it a design that's now gone out of fashion? Do you see many of them?
There's still quite a few pop-up cards, and they're incredibly intricate, and they just get more and more spectacular. So, yes, if you want pop-up cards, there are pop-up cards out there.
Never get rid of it, Fran.
Never, no.
Hold it close to your heart.
I do indeed.
Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you.
I'd love to know, actually, the cards you've kept. Have you got any Gordon Fraser ones? Because Sharon, you're saying, if you just put the headphones down because they'll start ringing. You were saying Gordon Fraser has been bought out.
That's right. It was bought up a while ago.
So you're never going to see that.
The brand still goes.
But does it still go on the back?
Yes.
They do.
The brand will still be on the card,
even though it's part of Hallmark now.
Yes.
I was Angus. Talk about pop-up cards, and you're using florist's wire
in that range.
In this one, have you always got to be a beat ahead?
Yes.
So always, because people are always bringing out new gimmicks.
They're always bringing out new gimmicks, and Caroline's look is at the fashion end of stationery. We do other products as well, but on the greeting card side of things, you get people copying you and so on. You've got to stay ahead of what's going on, and we always keep our eyes firmly ahead and bring out. There's an insatiable demand for
really
new,
fast-moving fashion industry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it? I mean, and you don't have to tell me your financial situation, but my mum will say, "Oh gosh, I could have made that for cheaper." She says that about everything, clothes and everything. But a greetings card, you think, "Oh well, I could have made it." And in fact, people do like receiving handmade ones.
Yeah.
Is there an enormous profit on at the risk of embarrassing you, Angus? I will throw that at you, Sharon. Is there enormous profit on a bit of cardboard bent in half? Sorry, Angus.
Yes. No, I can answer that as well.
It's a bit of card, yes, but what is a painting? A painting is a bit of canvas with some paint on it, and they sell for millions.
Yes. Yes. No, you're absolutely right.
It's people have different taste in cards, and you can buy a card at every price point. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it if you can't afford it. it. And the most important thing is the thought that counts. And I think if that card speaks to you and you know that it's going to speak to the person that you're sending it to, you don't need to spend a lot of money.
There aren't there? When if you go to art galleries, they have their own selection of cards. Obviously, there are some of the department stores. I love going into Selfridges. I love going into John Lewis, who stock your cards.
Yes.
Because you just realise how mean some newsagents are, and that they don't diversify. That you just get these dreadful old, as I was saying, cheap enveloped cards, which often aren't cheaper. The card isn't cheaper, but there's such a lack of choice, and you just think, why don't these corner newsagents become a bit more imaginative? They'd sell a few more.
It's not their core business. They're not really in the greeting card business so much. So
it's a token. It's a token gesture.
Yes, I think so. It's a sort of stopgap, last minute choice. But cards are sold in more types of outlet than any other product in this country. Most shops that you go to will actually sell cards.
Yes.
So that I don't think there's any excuse for not finding the card that you want.
Yes.
Where are the best places to buy greetings cards?
Your local shop, I would say.
But are they, though?
Card and gift shops, tourist attractions, bookshops, churches, garden centres.
Garden centres are really good, actually, out of town, aren't they?
Greeting card stomping rounds,
Well, has anyone ever thought of bringing out a greetings card with a stamp included? Because there is nothing
You're
more...
not allowed to do it.
Oh, are you not?
No.
They do in the States. They do in America.
What a good idea.
Illegal in this country.
Why?
Royal Mail has all sorts of rules and regulations, and you're not allowed to include a card with a stamp inside. It also might encourage people to steal the card.
Oh, I see, yes.
Good point.
We can't have that.
Yes. No, of course not. When you're writing the messages, and Angus, you say that not many of yours do have messages in. Is that a completely different department from your artistic department? Because you say you're still quite a small business, even though you sell all over the country.
We sell all over the world, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
So you employ 15 people. Are any of them people that just purely come up with the words?
With the cheesy words.
The cheesy words.
We don't really do cheesy cards, actually. But no, the words are important. They're an intricate part of the design. But we tend to, our cards are much more visual than the ones which have phrases and so on.
I once, and I don't know if you remember this, I went crazy actually talking about Selfridges because they had some cards on display that was so raucous,
right,
and actually including words that I felt shouldn't be on the eye level.
Risque.
Yes, of children, and I think I was in a bad mood that day, and I was ranting and raving in the shop saying these should be removed. They should be put either taken away. Look at Sharon's face, or put on a higher shelf, because these were beyond the watershed messages. Seriously, they were, and they took notice. They've now put them higher up because no one had thought to say anything about it. And if this was written on a magazine in a newsagent's, there would have been some kind of kickback. But because they were greetings cards, how strong, Sharon, is the censorship on, because Valentine's Day is coming up. Some of them, not yours, Angus, because as we said at the very beginning, yours are discreet. Some of them are really bawdy, aren't they?
And some companies have actually produced modesty sleeves for their cards.
Really?
Which actually encourages you to see what's inside.
So it's like in a brown envelope, and you can't, and it just really.
Yes, I think that's a great idea because it really piques your interest, doesn't it?
But
yes.
is
it keeps it away from children's eyes.
Absolutely, but what is the censorship on it?
The market, the retailer. It's absolutely down to the retailer what they buy and what they stock in their shops and what they think will appeal to their audience. Yes, there are a lot of very rude cards out there that I personally find extremely funny. Yes, it's down to the retailer and what they decide to do with their own shop.
We're talking about Valentine's Day, and which has just gone, obviously. But you did some research into this because didn't you discover the part of London that is more romantic than any other is Romford, or if you could say Essex. It's London, it's Essex, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, actually, this was a piece of Royal Mail research, and they measured the amount of post that was sent out on the day before Valentine's Day a year ago. And according to the increase in the amount of post that was sent, they judged how romantic that town was. So, because obviously everything else was the same except that it was going to be Valentine's Day the next day. And Romford in Essex had a 25% increase in post the day before, which is massive. So it's the greeting card. It's the romantic capital.
Yes,
the romantic capital of the UK.
There's a play on words. It's very clever. What about? I'm thinking about the padded card. You know that you would see. This was probably in the 60s or the 70s. Angus, do you remember? They would come almost. I think they'd come in a box actually, but they were padded. Very much the anniversary card or the wedding card. Probably are they a thing of the past?
I think they are. I think maybe the larger format cards that groups of people will sign if someone's leaving an office or they're getting married. That's probably the new version. I
haven't seen a padded card for a very long time.
What a shame. I wonder if any of our listeners have kept a padded
there
card.
Are some somewhere.
They were still in its box.
Yes, probably worth a lot.
From you, Sharon, on behalf of the association, and you don't have to name Angus, but what are the cards that have intrigued you, amused you more than any others? The novelty cards, maybe they're ones that came and went. Maybe
it plays on words, really, isn't it? I mean, there were some great cards. I just happened to stop at a shop in between the tube station and the studio, and there were just some fantastic cards on spinners outside, and I just stood there. I had a couple of minutes to spare. I just stood there laughing because they're just so funny. Give 100% unless you're giving blood, that sort of thing.
Yes. And
it's just hilarious.
I know that occasionally I've seen ones. Maybe it was in the United States that bring food out, and again that is an enormous risk, isn't it? Sticking a jelly top to a card or a toffee to. Is it? Are those monitored again that you can't take those sort of risks?
I don't think it would be a very good idea, really. I think they'd get a bit squashed in the post, wouldn't they?
Well, it's the whole health and safety thing, isn't it, I suppose?
I haven't seen anything like that. You do get quite a few publishers are now either licensing their artwork to go onto chocolate bars, so you do get that.
Right.
So you can get sort of branded chocolate, which is all very upmarket and beautiful. Another idea for Angus, maybe.
Let's go to the phones. Headphones on again. Let's go to Edgware, and Victor is on the line. Hello, Victor.
Oh, good afternoon, Joe. I'm a great fan of yours. I never heard you in the evenings, but I do every day now.
Oh, do you enjoy it?
Lovely.
I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving doing 2 hours in the afternoon.
Listen, there's in Belgravia, Motcombe Street.
Oh, yes, I know that, yeah.
Behind the back of Waitrose, there's a fantastic newsagent, and they have probably the best selection of great cards in London. Not thousands, but they have a wonderful selection that other people don't have.
Now, do you make a special trip to go there? Because I will now go there. It's quite near to me, actually.
Yes, I found them the other day. I'm always around there when I go to the bank or Waitrose. And yes, I will now, definitely. They have a wonderful selection, something really different and not expensive.
You see, isn't this interesting? Because you said, Sharon, it's not in their remit in a corner shop, in the newsagents to sell cards. We will go, women will travel to a shop to get a good selection of cards.
Are you still there, Joe?
Yeah, I'm still here, Victor.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, I will now go there because where I'm living in the centre of London, there is only Daunt's Bookshop. Otherwise, there is nowhere else.
Well, there is Greens at Marylebone High.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a very good selection.
No, they've got millions there, but this other place...
You know your cards. We were just told that it's women that send more cards than men, but you seem to enjoy sending cards, Victor.
Well, yeah. Well, how many times a year? 3-4 times a year?
Did you do it more than that, Victor? Yeah. More.
Did you send a Valentine's?
Yes, I bought one a few weeks ago, many weeks before, in this shop because I happened to see it. It was great.
Well, I'm going to go round there. Thank you, Victor, for that. Do you supply that shop, Angus?
I don't know what it's called.
It's at the back of Waitrose in Motcombe Street.
Oh, we supply Waitrose.
Do you?
Yeah, good selection.
Well, there you go. Product placement there. Let's go to Isra, who's in Acton. Hello, Isra.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Hello, guys.
Everyone say hello. Hi.
Hello.
Look, this is incredible. We've got two blokes calling when it's women that usually buy more cards. Go on, Isra, talk to us.
Okay, I used to, not long ago, before I did the Christmas, I used to get like...
Hang on, can you move in a bit further to the phone because you're getting a bit muffled?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, nice and clear.
Good, yeah, sorry. I used to, not long ago, I used to get these e-cards on the...
on the internet?
On the internet, yeah, and it says like Merry Christmas to this person, to this person. But I think, as I was saying to your producer, that these.
Where are you? You seem to be in a 4-scale wind.
Sorry, I just did an exam, so sorry if I come across about. I'm just going on to the tube.
Well, what was your exam in?
Oh, numeracy.
Oh, right. Did you do well?
I'm just doing some practice, like. I've been given practice papers.
Oh, right, okay. Just very quickly, because this is a really rotten phone signal, Isra. Can I just ask, you said that you sent e-cards or you received e-cards?
I received e-cards.
And are you pleased, or do you feel it's a little bit lazy, like I do?
I think it's not. I think it's great that people receive the e-cards, but it's a bit rotten when... you can't send them or anything.
Yes, thanks, Isra. I mean, I don't want to stigmatise men in any way, but maybe it's men prefer sending e-cards than women. Would you say? You're nodding, Angus. What do you think, Sharon?
I'm guessing.
E-cards. Well, I'm very, very anti e-card. You can't put an e-card on your mantelpiece, and I don't think that they have the same meaning. It's something that you have to choose to open on your screen. We're not talking here when we say e-cards about the cards that you would buy from Moonpig or Funky Pigeon, where you do actually end up with a real card in the end, and you've actually put some creativity into customising it and making it how you think the recipient would really enjoy to receive it. So an e-card is something that just gets sent to your email inbox, and I'm always really wary because I'm worried that it might be a virus or something like that.
Yes.
So I never open an e-card.
And it's also, I don't think you'd ever revisit it, would you? You'd never think, I'll go back and look at that e-card again, would you?
Right.
It's just there for a second, and that's. You mentioned something there, Sharon, and two companies that help, they promote you creating your own card, and they're very heavy television promoting of this at the moment. For me, they've now almost become a victim of their own success, because you can tell the brand, do you know what I mean? And whether that's a good or bad thing, but if the moment you can see the brand, then you know it's all formulaic. That's how I feel. Are you wary of this sort of design your own card by phoning up business, Angus? Do you think that in any way
we offer
influences the market?
We personally, our company offers a little bit of personalisation. You can go online to our website and design your wedding invitations and so on, but we don't do what Moonpig does that Sharon was talking about, but it's very popular. I think the card itself, and
I think it actually encourages men to send cards as well. Yeah, because men, funny enough, don't particularly like going into card shops.
Isn't that
weird? I've no idea why.
That's weird. Let me just say, Andrew in Stepney says cards. I find the small independent newsagents have a more diverse selection of cards. They can buy, sell, or return in small amounts from artists. The big corporate chains have the same half-dozen suppliers of cards with royalty-free images repeated with predictable texts. Don't know what you two think about that. This is from Anne, who says, neither my wife nor I can be accused of lacking a sense of humour, but it's utterly frustrating when trying to buy a card for a relative or a school friend of my children, trying to find one that's not smutty, tacky, or downright insulting. Here's to a tasteful and humorous card. Greg in Pinner. Well, you might want to try Caroline Gardner, because they are very tasteful. The ones I've seen here in front of me are. This is from Robin, who says the Mottcombe Street newsagent is called Mayhew's. There you are. The listeners will tell us.
Okay, fantastic.
Listen, I've loved meeting you two. Thank you so much. I mean, the whole greetings card business, is it healthy, would you say, or is it is?
Because it's
yes.
healthy. Yes.
The reason I asked that is we did a whole item on handwriting a couple of weeks ago, and people were saying, we just don't write any. And it is quite a shock when you start to write a card. You think, gosh, I haven't used my thumb for some time. So it is healthy. It's not going to slowly disappear due to the internet.
It's still going very, very strong in this country, which is fantastic. And you're right, it is one of the few times these days when you actually see somebody's handwriting.
Absolutely.
And ink on paper does have a little bit of magic about it, I think.
This is from Jill in Wallington, who says, Jo, I buy all my cards from Epsom General Hospital. They've got amazing cards. They're really lovely and cheaper than anywhere else. I stock up when I'm going to take my uncle there for his appointments. I love the thought of someone buying all their cards in the hospital.
Hospitals are actually great.
They are very good, very good shops.
Shops are great for cards,
So, Caroline Gardner, we have the selection in front of us here. Angus, it's lovely to meet you, and of course you can get
Lovely
candles as well. And
stationery and all sorts of other stuff.
dog collars.
Dog collars, yes.
What a great way to diversify. We must get you on barking one day. Thank you so much for coming in. Really enjoyed meeting you both. Thank you. And thank you to everybody for emailing, calling. Now, I'm going to play